Hi everybody, we have a video of Australian Labradoodle puppies today. This is a litter update video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about gross puppies. Now that's not something we normally talk about, and you'll find out why. We'll also tell you about the milestones the puppies have reached and give you a little bit of a recap on each of the puppies. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these are the puppies from our litter with Misha and Jack. And this is the bee's knees litter is the name of this litter. These puppies are 2 weeks old, and as you can see, they have grown by leaps and bounds. And you can see we have a couple of towels with us today. Now, we talked about towels in other videos where we throw them in the whelping box when mom is digging and wanting to make a nest. And that way she doesn't roll all over her puppies and bury them in the carpet. But we have towels here today for an entirely different reason. And it's because these puppies are really fat. They are big, they are plump, they are wide, and they are all over a kilogram. So if you'll look down here, you'll see there is a bump in the bed here. And that's because we have all sorts of different pillows, or not pillows, rather towels rolled up underneath here. And the reason for that is because these puppies, being the size that they are at this age, they are lying around and not walking. They are just so full and are so content that they don't have any reason to actually move about. The only time you see them moving is like they are right now when they're trying to find a spot at the milk bar. And you can see silver collar here is going the wrong way. Green collar's at a location where she's not going to be able to find a spot that's available. And that's when you see a bit of movement. But otherwise, we've noticed in this past week, the puppies are not moving as much as we want to see them moving around. They aren't standing up as much as we would like, and this is not good for the puppies. So why not? Well, because it doesn't allow them to develop their muscles. It doesn't allow them to develop their coordination. And worst of all, it means they are all lying in their own pee. Gross puppies. This can happen when you have a really good milk bar like Mama Labradoodle Misha has, and you have young puppies. So you're going to notice today that some of the puppies look a little bit scruffy. A lot of them look dirty because they are lying on top of one another and on the carpet here, and they are getting wet on their stomachs. They're also, when they lie over top of each other and Misha's not here to clean them up, they will poop over top of each other, and by that time Misha comes to clean them and wipe them up, there is a stain on their fur. So you'll see, particularly on the parties, the lighter color puppies, you'll see that staining. So why don't we just give them a bath? Why don't we just wash it off and then they won't be dirty? Well, you can't wash puppies at this age. It's very dangerous for them to get wet. They still do not have control over their body temperature, and if you get them wet, they get chilled to the core very quickly. And we do not want that to be happening with the puppies, because that is a recipe for them getting sick. But if you look here on light blue collar, you can see, like on the back of his leg here, he's got lots of staining going on because he is a light color. So they don't look at their most beautiful. They look pretty gross right now. So what we have decided, we've done all of this with the towels, changing the carpet 2 and 3 times a day. These carpets can't go in the dryer, and it's winter, so we can put them outside normally and they dry really quickly, but if it's raining or it's too cold, then they don't dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to move these puppies out of the maternity ward, out of this environment, and into a totally different environment tomorrow or later today. And we're going to move them over into the doodle den, which is where our nursery is. So what's that going to accomplish? Well, we're going to give them a bigger space, more room to walk around. That way they're going to have to actually walk to get from A to B rather than being as we normally like them to be at this age where it's really easy to find mom. So we're kind of doing everything different with this litter than we do normally. Normally we're very focused still on making sure mom is readily available, that the puppies don't lose her, and that they can get to the milk bar easily. With these large wide load puppies, what we want to do is spread them out, make them work for their meals, and slow their weight gain down a bit. I know that sounds really unusual and counterintuitive, but Misha's milk is so rich and so plentiful that we need to give these guys a little bit of support in that way. And so with Misha, one of the ways we could produce less milk would be if we fed her less. But we don't want to do that because it's still a huge drain on her system while she's feeding all these puppies. So it's important that we keep her food levels up. We don't want her losing weight, or we don't want her using any of her own resources to nourish the puppies. What we want is for her to be eating well and then sharing that over to the puppies. And we also want to give Misha a little bit more space to move around and get away from them. You saw that she was feeding them and she left right away. She's warm in here. She runs hot as it is because she has such a generous milk bar. It's a lot of heat on the tummy area. So we find her on our tile floor all the time, splayed out so that her tummy is on the cool area. So we'll move her to a bigger spot where she can just easily be close to the puppies, but on a cooler floor, and where she can actually step in and out and get more space in between her and the puppies, and also give her a bit of an opportunity to give her more space when she is away from the puppies to move and walk around herself. That way, if she's absent from them a bit more frequently, they'll start moving around a bit more as they search for her. And you can see here, you can see how when they're lying down like this is okay. They're not flat, they're not splayed out, so their chests are not being compressed or anything. They are lying properly. They do all have good muscle tone. They are not in bad condition, but I like to be able to see, like Light Blue is doing right here, where he's got part of his body up like this. Purple collar here, she's got part of her head up, so her body is just on a very slight angle. And I think if Misha has a bit more space and a bit more freedom, she'll maybe be a little bit more inclined to do a bit more licking. Because what keeps the puppies clean is mom. We come and we towel dry them all the time when they're wet. We're coming in and wiping them off regularly. We do have wipes as well that are designed specifically for dogs. They're antibacterial. So what we're doing there is we're rubbing their stomachs off, because we don't want to have the pee sitting on their tummies and on their very sensitive skin. So we're rubbing that off with that and then toweling them after that so they don't stay wet. But even now, like, I can feel just touching them, their tummies are damp and their body temperatures they feel a little bit cooler to the touch than I would like. I would like these puppies to be feeling warm when I touch them, no indication of being cool. So that's what's going on with the puppies this week in terms of right now. This is a litter of what I call our gross Labradoodle puppies, but they're still adorable. And they have reached their very most important milestone of having their eyes open. They took them a little while to get there. Nobody was early in this litter doing it. They all took their time. We all joke that that's because they're so fat they have folds of fat on their eyes and they couldn't get their eyes open. But that's not probably what it was. It's just because every litter is different. Every puppy is different. They do it at their own speed. And in fact, sometimes puppies don't open their eyes until day 21. Day 10 to 14 is pretty much the average time that you see them open. I consider day 10 to be really early. Day 12 I consider to be early. Day 14 I consider to be normal. Day 16 I consider to be a little bit slow. And after day 18 I'm like, what's going on? But as long as their eyes are clear, there's nothing going on, there's no crustiness, there's nothing leaking out, it's nothing to be concerned or worried about. So do puppies' eyes ever not open? they don't sometimes. We have had one puppy that happened with, and it was day 20, so it was time. So I do not like to mess with eyes myself. There's lots of times I'll do things with the puppies and the dogs rather than go to the vet, because I've been there, done that. I need to have what I need on hand. But when it comes to eyes, I'm always just a little bit hesitant. So the puppy that didn't open their eyes, I took that puppy into the vet, and all the vet really does is just rubs on the eye like this and then pries the eyelids open. And the puppy did have a bit of discharge for about only maybe 48 hours afterward, and I just have a very special wipe for that, where I just made sure that I kept their eyes clean and that the discharge wasn't there anymore. It went away. It wasn't an infection. It wasn't anything that was a problem. It just had that because the eyes had become unsealed by manually as opposed to doing it naturally. But these kids' eyes are all open, so they are moving along, meeting their milestones right at the sort of predictable stage, other than the fact that you can see that their stomachs are still really wide. They're really, really bulky, chunky puppies. And yeah, we want to have plump puppies. You can see here in black collar how big her stomach is sticking out here. Same with yellow collar here. We definitely want plump, happy, juicy puppies. That's the goal. But we also don't want them so that they are so big through this area that their little legs that are just developing their muscles aren't able to pick themselves up off the ground, so that they do pee on themselves. Not really an attractive feature. So we're working hard to get this problem resolved. Like I said, we have a plan in place, and we'll begin to execute that tomorrow. And we have a change on our leaderboard in terms of who's smallest and biggest in the litter. You'll find now that their weights are going to settle down a bit. They're not going to continue to gain these enormous amounts as they have been doing for the first 2 weeks. And if they continue to be really chunky to the point where we feel that they're getting to be where it's impeding their progress in any way, then what we'll do after their 3 weeks is we will move them off onto solid food, where we can regulate what they're eating a bit better. And we'll start taking Misha away from them and drying her up a bit. I am quite positive that's what is going to happen with this litter. We'll see what goes on over the next week, if they slow down at all. But if they continue in the vein that they've been on the same track and trajectory that they've been on since they've been born, then I would say this next week is going to be the last week where Misha is going to be feeding them full time. But I'm also really mindful of Misha. We want to keep Misha's health, of course, at the front of our minds. If she's providing this much nourishment to this many puppies, that's a big drain on her. So I don't want to start seeing her losing weight, losing the luster in her coat, or becoming in any way despondent. And I don't mean she's depressed and mentally. I mean that she's just not physically robust. We want her happy, healthy, and full of energy. And so if that means we need to limit the amount of time she's in with her puppies, then that's what we'll do. We just have to wait till they're 3 weeks. Earlier than that is too soon. They aren't able to even stand up to begin to approach the pan or learn how to lick out of it. So it won't be a wholesale change over to solid food. It'll just be small amounts, just a little bit of supplementation, so we can give Misha a break and we can have them sort of on a diet, if you will. Pretty funny to have babies on diets, but obviously Misha doesn't have any problem producing milk. So as for Misha herself, she continues to do well. She is choosing to leave the puppies a little bit more than I would like her to. She's very, very much a girl who has FOMO all the time. She really wants to be out with us and part of the family. She does not really want to stay all the time and attend to her licking and cleaning duties. She's pretty funny actually when I come in and are doing things with the puppies. she kind of just looks at me like, well, they're kind of a mess. You should probably clean them up. And in fact, one of the puppies pooped on her earlier today, so she had puppy poop all down her shoulder, and she hadn't even bothered to clean herself off. So Reynolds did a little bit of a spit and polish there on her before we started the video. Hey, baby girl, you gonna come in? You hear your name? Yeah, come on in and join us. She's such a love, this girl. She's really a sweet baby. You can see here she's still a little bit wet from where Reynolds was cleaning her poop accident off of her there. One thing that's really nice about Misha is that her guardians have taught her how to pee and poo on command, and I can't tell you what a valuable thing that is. As Labradoodle breeders, we often are working right up to just before bed. What we always are is we're putting puppies away, feeding mums and whatnot. So being able to let a mama dog out and tell her to pee and poo and have her comply is gold for us. It's and especially when it's pouring rain, as it often is on the West Coast. Now you just saw their little yellow collar take some steps as he walked over to find Mama Misha, and you'll see that she is now cleaning them up. She obviously heard me and doesn't want everyone watching the video and thinking that she's not a good mom. So that's what we want to see. We want to see the puppies walking like that. They're old enough now to be starting to take their steps. So that's a great positive sign. So let's go through and let's take a look at these babies in birth order, and let's also find out who is the biggest and the smallest in the litter, and let's take a look at some open eyes. Some of these eyes are not open hugely wide, so if they're sleepy, you may not catch a glimpse of them. And so we'll start with green collar, which is our caramel party girl here. And you can see she is one of the ones with an enormous stomach. And if you just take a look at her before I pick her up, you can see her skin here is all pink. There's no sign of any skin issues, no irritation, despite the fact that they are kind of lying on their tummies a bit. Come here, baby girl. They still can't hear. I would say maybe next week we'll get some ears opening up. I'm going to use this towel to hold them with today, just because some of them are kind of a little bit wet and I don't want them to be slippery and slipping out of my hands. So green collar girl is our pretty little, I think I said caramel before, but she is an apricot party. And it doesn't look like she wants to show us her eyes. Oh no. I'll see if I can just kind of tease her around to doing it. There we go. Now we got them opening up. You'll see they're not very wide yet. These are just brand new opening eyes. She just opened her eyes yesterday. I'll try to get her facing the camera there. So what does she see? Not much. Just a couple of shapes. Really, she doesn't even open them all that often. Just for me to get them to do it, I can do it by just pestering her a bit. And Miss Green Collar Girl is currently the biggest puppy in the litter, and she is coming in at 1.23 kilos. Every puppy is over a kilo at 2 weeks of age. That's not normal for a Van Isle Doodle litter of Labradoodle puppies. So that's Miss Green Collar Girl, Icky Sticky Girl. Put her down over there. Next is Black Collar. Hey, baby. Black Collar is one of the ones that really looks messy and dirty because of all that pretty white in the party color, which is currently not white, as you can see. She looks like she's kind of a dirty orange right now. Yeah, not so pretty. Now her eyes are a little bit harder to see because, of course, she's got black over both of her eyes. Hey, and let's see if we can get them to open up enough to catch some light. No, she's not even... Oh no, I mean, life is just so exhausting for us. They have it so rough, I tell you. Oh, are you going to open your eyes for me? Hey? No, I don't think so. I'd show you my pink tongue. Maybe we have to wait till next week. Oh, there we go. There's some eyes. You just have to catch them just at the right time to be able to see them. Anyways, Miss Black Collar Girl is 1.12 kilograms. Thank you for showing us your peepers. There you go. Next we have Silver Collar. Silver Collar is the one who looks the best right now, silver and yellow, because they're the solids and they're dark colors. This is our gorgeous, gorgeous ebony puppy. Such a pretty puppy. I just love this ebony. Here, we show you off against the white towel. And what about you? Are you going to show us your eyes? Hey, Usually if you fuss with them a little bit, they give you a bit. You can see that cute goatee and the pink tongue, and oh, big shake it off. Are we going to show any eyes? No, maybe not this week. Silver collar is 1.16 kilos. Just such a good weight. Yeah. Do you want to get those eyes open? You want to show them? Nope, I guess not. Nope. That's going to have to be a surprise for our next week video. There we go, sweetheart. Then we have yellow, who is our other solid in the litter, and our chocolate solid. This is him right here. He's having a good snooze. There we go, baby. And again, he looks a little bit cleaner, but if you look at the back of him, you can see how their fur looks like they're wet. And they're damp. For sure they're damp, but nobody's freezing, they're not shivering or anything, so they're not in any danger. And when we move them into the doodle den, we'll just turn the temperature up in there to make sure they're cozy enough. Oh, there we go, we got some eyes showing. Again, with the dark faces, it's a little harder, but we do have eyes open on brown collar, or yellow collar, I mean, and yellow collar is 1.18 kilograms. And you can see some pretty little caramel highlights starting to show on this puppy. Very pretty puppy. Are you pretty? Yeah. There we go. There we go, yellow. We'll put you down here. Next is dark blue. And dark blue is right here. And this is, oh no, that's light blue, sorry. Dark blue is you. You're dark blue. Got the wrong puppy. Light blue is not yet. Dark blue is our caramel girl. And she's one of the more solid ones. And oh, now we can really see eyes. Much easier to see eyes on the lighter colored faces. And another good show of the big pink tongues. Lots of pretty tongues. This girl is an apricot as well. I think I keep saying caramel. It's kind of ingrained in my brain, but she is an apricot because she's going to have a black tongue. And dark blue color is 1.05 kilograms. So again, really nice weight, just over that 1 kilo mark, that little magic kilo mark there. There we go, sweetheart. And after that is purple. And purple, where are you? Purple is over here, right? Come here, baby. Oh my goodness, stuck under the pig rail. There we go. And purple is all sorts of wet. Purple definitely needs a toweling off, which I'll just do. So when we have one and they are this wet, purple must have just had a little pee. Then we just take the towel, we dry them off all over, do on the stomach. Now, usually this results in them peeing even more. So because the puppies don't go pee and poo on their own initially, Mummy stimulates them with her tongue. So she licks them in the genital area to get them to eliminate. So of course now when I'm running around drying them off, I'm doing the same thing. I'm stimulating the same area. So then I usually end up getting peed on as well. But it's not like it's the first time. This puppy is an apricot as well, but my guess is this puppy's going to end up really being a cream. If you look here, when I push her fur back, you can see she's a cream underneath. So if you look on our website at vaniledoodles.com and you go to our dogs, and if you look in the retired dog section, you'll see a gorgeous cream girl with a big black nose. That's Spirit. Spirit lives with us, and this puppy is going to end up looking like Spirit, I think. Spirit was very similarly colored when she was a baby, and now she is all cream except for some of the apricot on her ears, and then she has a beautiful broad stripe of the apricot down her back. Beautiful, beautiful coloring. Are you going to be beautiful like Spee? And show everybody your eyes. So Miss Purple Collar is 1.1 kilos. Yeah, yes, that's a good girl. Next is Red Collar Girl. And Red Collar is another one of our black and white party girls who is looking rather ragged because of all of her dirt and poop on her there. And Red Collar is currently the smallest puppy in the litter. So this is how sizes can change, because at one point she was the largest puppy in the litter. Here, go over here, show everybody your eyes. Open your eyes. Red Collar is now 1.02 kilos, so just a smidge smaller. And this little girl is a try. And I didn't know that before because you can't see the phantom in a full tribe because of the party. But I can see here and here now. I can see she has the coloration and the chits that you see in a phantom dog. So I'm pretty sure that this girl is actually going to be a phantom as well as a party. If I look under her tail, I don't see the tan points, so I might be wrong. It might just be the way her hair is growing. It doesn't really matter. Who cares what color or pattern she is? It's just always fun and interesting to know. So that's our little filthy black party girl red collar. And last but not least is our light blue color girl over here. Another black and white party, another messy party. Yes, as you can see, tummies are all fine. No problem in the actual tummy. There's no skin irritation. So nobody's getting sick or anything from this. There's nothing going on other than it's unattractive and it can be a bit smelly too. And this light blue, are you going to show anybody your eyes? Eh? What if I really fool around with your face? What if I give one of your kisses on your face? Oh, there we go. We got a little bit of eye action there for you. And light blue is 1.1 kilos. So she and purple are the same weight. So really close overall. I mean, the difference goes from red at 1.02 to green at 1.23. Really not a huge spread between these guys. Obviously, everybody does well getting their turn at the milk bar. But you can see how they're all piled up together here. And you see like how brown or yellow color rather is on top of silver. So this is how when they go to the bathroom that they end up getting it over one another's, the sides of them and the backs of them, as well as peeing on themselves. But if only I could just convince Mama Misha to do a little bit more cleanup after her own kids. But clearly she doesn't think that that is in her job description. So we hope you enjoyed our video today. If you liked it, if you feel you learned something new and had fun watching the puppies, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out with the algorithm. And if you're not already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so and clicking that bell icon so you get notified whenever we've got a new video out. Yesterday and the day before, we had two really fun videos where our other two litters found out, the families found out which puppies were going home with them. Allocation litters are always so much fun. So, and you can see here, green collar girl is really, she's a pretty chill puppy. I don't know if I ever really come in when this isn't the position she is in. She is always upside down, and you can really see here the girth that I'm talking about. So this is a bit more and a little bit out of proportion to the width of the shoulders here, which is kind of what I'm going on. So they kind of are going in their shape, and I would rather not have quite so much spread there. But I'm not going to complain. I'd rather have a little pudgy puppy and puppies who are a little bit dirty and sticky and icky than puppies who are thin and sickly. So shouldn't complain, should count my blessings. And before you know it, they'll be up on their feet and we'll be able to give them a little cleanup and a bath, and they'll all look as adorable as they are. Thanks so much for watching. We hope that you'll continue to follow this litter, and we'll see you again next week. We'll be filming from the Doodle Den, and we'll see if anyone is able to hear by then. So that's what will be coming up next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.